What is link building? Off-page SEO basics. My name is Sam, and this is a continuation of our SEO for Beginners series. In this video, we are going to talk about link building. This is intended for people who are beginners who are just getting started in SEO, and we're going to cover on what link building is and some of the key terminology tied to link building. So first, what introduction to backlinks. What are backlinks? Links are inbound links. They are links from external websites, other sites that point back to our site. When we talk about backlinks and link building, we typically want quality over quantity. Not all links are equal. So to give a little visual here, you have your website, and then there's all the other websites out in the internet. On the internet, you have just examples: New York Times and CNN and Forbes. And if the New York Times has a link in their website or on an article that points back to our site, that is a backlink. It effectively counts as a vote in Google's eyes. It's one of the commonly used examples. But basically, we need to build trust with search engines. Anybody could start any website, and Google doesn't know, or any search engine wouldn't know if they're real or not real, or an authority or not an authority. But Google and search engines do know the New York Times and CNN and Forbes, and they trust these sites as a source of authority. And so if the New York Times is linking to our site, search engines go, well, we don't know Sam right now, but we do trust the New York Times, and if they trust Sam, then we're going to trust Sam a little bit more. And when you begin to get more links from authoritative sites, from niche topic or locally relevant sites, that's going to build trust in our site. An example of what a link would look like, I'm assuming most of you know this, but basically in any page that you're on, if there's a link that's clickable, that is a link. And then some links are internal, so that's just taking you to another page on that same site. And some links are external, which are taking you to a new website. What we want is for other websites to have external links that take them to our site. So then what is link building? So we just talked about that. That's what a backlink is. Link building then is the process of acquiring those links from other websites, directing people to our site. The goal of link building is to get more links. It's to increase our site's authority. It should and will help improve rankings for our main keywords. And then if it's a good link, it's going to also drive traffic to our site. So in the best world, not only is that link going to help you from an SEO standpoint and increase your ranking and trust and authority, but it also is going to drive traffic from those other sites back to your site. Why links matter for SEO? They build credibility and authority. It's the example that we gave earlier with the New York Times. If they're trusted and they link to us, that acts as a vote of confidence, and search engines will see that. It leads to increased visibility. If you were to be featured in Forbes or Entrepreneur or the New York Times, or even if you're a local business, just in your local newspaper or blogs, more people are going to see you, and that's going to help more people come to your site. That's going to help from an SEO perspective. And traffic boost, we kind of just covered that, but it's more ways for people to get to our site. It's going to drive more traffic to our site. So for all of those reasons, links matter. Characteristics of high quality backlinks. So we had said not all links are created equal. We want high quality links. We want more quality than quantity. If we get high quantity of a lot of quality links, that's great. But what makes a high quality backlink? It should be relevant. So from related industries, topics, or locations. If you are an attorney that works in a city, then having backlinks from either legal related sites or from locally related sites from your city, county, state, those are going to be relevant. If you were selling dog toys, then getting a legal backlink isn't necessarily going to hurt you, but it's not going to be relevant, and so it won't be as powerful. And vice versa, if I'm the attorney and I get a backlink from a dog toy site, that's not really going to hurt me, but it's not going to be as relevant as I would want. Authoritative, so it should be relevant, it should be authoritative. So we want trusted, reputable sites. Back to our attorney example, if we're in Atlanta, say, then like the local Atlanta newspaper or news stations, those would be trusted, reputable sites locally there. If we had, trusted legal blogs that are well known in the community, those would be good links. Getting a link from a brand new blog that doesn't have any authority, not necessarily going to hurt you, but it's not going to be as good as if it were authoritative. And then ideally it's natural. Ideally it's something that you go and create really great content or do something meaningful, and then people are linking back to you just because of that. In the world of SEO, oftentimes it is not natural. Oftentimes they are bought one way or another. But in the perfect world, they're natural. And if you do something really well from a PR perspective, or create a really great product or whatever it may be, those links are great, and oftentimes those will build links that money can't always buy. Moving on, understanding domain authority. So one of a common term that you'll hear in link building and backlinks is domain authority or authority score. Domain authority specifically, it's a score that predicts how likely a website will rank in search engines. Domain authority was initially created by Moz. It's a score of 1 to 100. Higher scores suggest better ranking potential. Lots of tools have their own authority scores. SEMrush has authority scores. Ahrefs has their version of it. All of these are third-party tools. They're internal to them, so they don't directly impact search results, but they are a good way to gauge where we're at, and specifically to compare us to competitors. How the scores work, usually they're based off of link quality, link quantity, overall site performance, and again, it's a good way to compare sites and evaluate link building opportunities. Some SEO tools to find authority scores. SEMrush has their authority score. Ahrefs uses domain rating. We had talked about Moz back here, domain authority. They're all, again, roughly the same thing. Compare them to each other. Don't compare your SEMrush score to a competitor's Ahrefs score. Do the same, because it'll give you a better gauge for where things are at. And then a quick tip, but you want to aim for backlinks from sites with higher authority scores to have a stronger impact on your SEO efforts. Now, simple ways to earn backlinks. Building links is oftentimes expensive to get good links, or it takes a lot of work and relationship building and networking. But some different ways that links are built. One is through guest post. Guest posting is typically where you will write an article for another website, and then within that article you include a link back to your site, and then they post it on their site. Oftentimes, to do guest posts, you end up paying the other site. That's fairly common. That is frowned upon by Google. It's not something that you should do, but it is a pretty common practice. Then there's directories, and so business listings, citations, high quality directories, industry specific or local directories, ideally both. Again, if you're a law firm, there are sites like FindLaw, Avo, Justia that are well known industry specific directories. Those are important ones to have links back or have listings on. You have your kind of major citations, business listings, so like your Apple Maps, Google Business Profile, we'll say Yelp. If you're in the travel or hospitality industry, something like TripAdvisor would be very relevant to you. Avoid low quality spammy directories. That's I wouldn't necessarily that might be too strong. I mean, if it's like a completely random thing, then you probably don't need it. But even if it's a low quality, say a low quality legal specific directory, it's still not necessarily a bad thing to have in it. You just want to make sure that your information is consistent. Obviously, higher quality is going to be better. And then lastly, outreach. So this would be building relationships and networking, identifying relevant sites, reach out with value. you'll see a lot of people talk about sharing infographics, reports, or resources as ways to provide value to then get links back to those. There's other ways to do link building, but those are some of the main ones that are used. So summing all of this up, link building is essential for authority, visibility, and traffic. It helps in all of those. It is hard to rank a website from an SEO perspective if you don't have any link building presence. High quality backlinks are going to be relevant. They are going to be authoritative, and they're going to occur naturally. And the more you get of each of those, the better that'll be. Methods to get links, guest posting, directory, citation submissions, outreach with value. Domain authority and authority scores, these are third-party metrics, but they're useful for assessing link quality, site quality, and gauging where you are compared to competitors. SEO tools to use in link building, SEMrush, Ahrefs, Moz, those are three of the biggest ones. Those are helpful for monitoring and tracking your backlink profile. And then focus on high quality links from sites with good authority scores. Easier said than done, but we want high quality, we want topically relevant. Those are going to have the biggest impact for us. All right, we're going to wrap up this video, and I hope it was helpful. Please leave questions in the comments, and we will be back shortly with additional videos in our SEO for Beginners series. Thanks.